Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Drake's Corner Extra. Sorry, let me move my mic here. We are in my kitchen, or my eating area per se. We're not in the normal studio. It is a NBA mock draft 2022 entire first round. Yep, it's just 2 days away. We just had the NBA finals happen, and we're right into draft season. So the NBA draft is, I wouldn't say it's anywhere close to the hype and analysis that the NFL draft holds. You have the Super Bowl in the NFL, and then 2 months later, you have the draft. So it gives analysts plenty of time to make their mock drafts, to make their analysis. They have the combine. The NFL combine's a lot bigger than the NBA combine. But the NBA draft is still a huge deal, and I think it should get a lot more recognition. One, because there's 12 players on an NBA team, or there's like 12 in rotation most of the time. And, in that time period, there's a lot more weight needed to be held by these rookies rather than in the NFL, where it's a 55-man sport on each team. There's 55 players in the NFL, and in the NBA, there's 12 in rotation. So I think it should get a lot more coverage than what it does. They should just change the time frame, honestly. But, yep, the draft is this Thursday. So we're going to go through the entire first round, and I'm going to try and make my best picks. Hopefully it goes a lot better than the NFL draft, which I completely, just went horrible on, mostly because there was a lot of trades, and I did a no-trade draft. But here we go. So first on the clock here, we have the Orlando Magic, and it's between three guys. Paolo Banchero's Vegas odds for the number one pick skyrocketed the other day. And so a lot of people are thinking he might go first. You got Chet Holmgren, the Slim Reaper per se, at the center spot. The 7'3 unicorn who can do it all. And last but not least, Jabari Smith, who is just a 6'10 all-around scorer. First pick overall, I'm going here Jabari Smith for the Magic. They have Mo Bamba at center, and he does a lot of the same stuff that I see Chet doing, just being a defensive phenom. I do think Chet's scoring is going to be a little questionable in the NBA, but his defense, I think, is proven at 7'3 with that wingspan and agility. Chet is going to be an insane shot blocker, and that's who I have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking here is Chet Holmgren. Scoring-wise, they have a good backcourt with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey, two very good facilitators. They have defensive-wise, they have Dort, and if you add Chet Holmgren to the mix, you could have just a young defensive squad. They have another pick later at pick number 12 here in the first round, and that's where I'm going to give them a little guard play, a little more scoring that they need. But Chet is too good of a ceiling to pass up here for the Thunder, so I'm going Chet at number 2. Number 3, got the Rockets, and I think this is just a given. Paolo Banchero. They drafted Jalen Green last year. He was proving to be the scorer that they wanted. You don't know what they're going to do with John Wall. Bigs-wise, they traded Christian Wood, which is, maybe a hint that Chet might be going 3. But at the same time, if Paolo's right there at number 3, I don't think they're going to pass up on him. And they also have Jayshawn Tate, an upcoming younger guy in the league. So build around, give him another scorer. If he's there, they're taking him. And I really think with those 3 teams, Magic, Thunder, and Rockets, whoever the other teams don't take, that's who they're taking. So it's going to play out like that. Number 4 with the Kings, and I think this is another lock here. I could see teams trading up for this pick, but at the shooting guard spot, they have DiVincenzo as their probably best shooting guard. Jaden Ivey right here, he's going to play the 2 spot for the Kings, and they're going to give a Fox Ivy combo. And they also picked up Sabonis near the trade deadline. So they're going to try and build a big 3 over there in Sacramento. Number 5, this is where it gets a little dicey for me. I got Dyson Daniels. This guy shot up in the big board rankings. He's a 6'6", just all-around scorer. He's got a great guard play. He's got a great set of skills at the guard position. He's 6'6". He lit up the G League, and his big board has been skyrocketing. I have not heard of him until about a week ago when I saw his stock just rising, and it wouldn't stop. So I think it's going to keep rising here with the Pistons. They just need, a guy to complement Cade Cunningham. They have a great young core. A lot of these teams here at the bottom half, they're going to be good here in the future. But Dyson Daniels, he has got great scoring talent. If you watch his highlights from the G League, you can just tell this guy's league ready. So I'm going Dyson Daniels here, number 5. All right, let's see what else we got. Here we go. Pacers, what pick is this? This is the 6th pick. Okay. So Pacers here, I got Keegan Murray going. Let's take a look at their depth chart here. Brogdon, down here, Chris Duarte. This depth chart's all sorts of messed up, but Brogdon and Chris Duarte right now are their 1-2 punch. Also Tyrese Halliburton and Duarte. They're young core. That's who they're building around. They could use another scorer at the 4 or 3 position, which Keegan Murray effectively plays. He's a great all-around scorer. He put a load of points per game for Iowa. They got Miles Turner at center, who they might trade away. But they're going to build around that young backcourt, Halliburton and Chris Duarte. And they also have Brogdon, too. Probably, might play the 2. Murray might play the 3. We'll see with the Pacers. But picking up Keegan Murray here, let's take a look at his stats. 23.5 points per game and 8 rebounds. This guy, his EFG percentage, 55.4%. He's a very good scorer, and that's what they need. They're in Indiana. So, yeah, Keegan Murray, talent that you can't pass up here. Number 7 here, the Blazers are up, and a lot of people are saying Shaedon Sharpe's going to go here. I think Shaedon Sharpe might drop just because of the proven fact. He didn't step 1 minute on the court for Kentucky. He was fresh out of high school. He had kind of that drama going on he didn't step on the court once for Kentucky, but he was eligible for the draft. So he was a phenom in high school, and he was probably going to be the number 1 pick in the 2023 draft. But, they have Damian Lillard and Simons. I really don't think they need much guard play here. If you take a look down here at their power forward spot, Justice Winslow, TJ Leaf, Nazir Little, those guys aren't, anything to write home about. I'm going to go with Benedict Mathurin here. Look at the stats here, tell the story, 18 points a game. The 3 spot, 4 spot, kind of in that vicinity is what they need, just a good 3 or 4. And Benedict Mathurin, that's a Mathurin full of words, is going to be the guy here at number 7 for the Portland Trail Blazers. So, yeah. Number 8 here, who do we got? The Pelicans. I'm going to go with Johnny Davis here with this pick. Johnny Davis, probably the best freshman to sophomore jump out of anybody we've seen in college this year. 20 points a game, 8 rebounds. He was just an all-around scorer. And the Pelicans, they have they're depth-wise, they're solid. I do think Davis will be a guy that starts off coming off the bench. But guard play-wise, they need a little bit more off the bench, I'd say, to compete with playoff teams. That's for sure. And McCollum was doing a lot of the work. They just kind of need more consistent guard play. Devontae Graham, Alvarado, CJ McCollum. They just need one more guy to add to the mix, and I think Johnny Davis is that guy. A lot of people have Johnny Davis going to the Spurs here, but I think Johnny Davis will get picked up earlier. I think he proved a lot at Wisconsin. So, yeah. But number 9, Spurs. Let's take a look at their chart here. DeJounte Murray. A lot of people went with that Johnny Davis pick for the Spurs, mostly because, their shooting guard play is not the best, but they have Josh Primo, who kind of, stepped up towards the end of the NBA season for the Spurs. Keldon Johnson was really solid, too, at the small forward spot. But look at their centers here. Jakob Poeltl and Jock Land, it's dead there at the center spot. I'm going to go with a guy who reminds me a lot of DeAndre Ayton, Jalen Duran. This guy, 12 points a game, 8 rebounds. At that center spot in college, those numbers aren't, screaming at you. But Jalen Duran, if you watch him play, he's just an athletic freak at that center spot. Gives me a lot of DeAndre Ayton vibes. And I think the Spurs, if he's there, they're going to take him. Who do we got here? Washington Wizards, number 10. Let's take a look here. Point guard. I'm not seeing any names that, stick out. It's simple. I'm going to go down a little bit on the boards here. I call it a reach, but Tai Tai Washington is sitting right there. Tai Tai Washington, towards the middle of the season for Kentucky was looking to be a lottery, top 5 possible pick there. Tai Tai Washington can score from basically anywhere. He's got a good floater. Mid-range shot is absolutely cash. He showed a lot of that, NBA ability in college from that mid-range spot. They need another complement scorer for Beal, and they also got Porzingis. So, they could go center here as well, but I really think they're desperate here at point guard in a draft that's, not super point guard heavy. So, Tai Tai Washington is my pick for number 10. And at number 11 here, the New York Knicks. Here we go. They're young, and it's hard to say, what they really need. But Randall's their leader, and he's not even 30 yet. I'm gonna go with a guy. It's a risky pick here. Shaedon Sharpe, back-to-back Wildcats. Kind of they have that quickly RJ Barrett combo at the 1 and 2 spot. I think you could move Barrett to the 3, have a 3-guard set. Shaedon Sharpe, quickly, Kentucky connection. I think that could work out for the New York Knicks here. They need a lot more. They need a lot more scoring ability. I think their bigs are good with Randall and Mitchell Robinson. Even with Sharpe coming off the bench, he'll be a solid asset there scoring-wise. And apparently he's just a freak athlete. So but mostly saw him do is against high school players. So it's hard. It's a risky pick there with Shaedon Sharpe at number 12 or 11. Sorry, excuse me. Anywho, number 12. Yes, we're back with the Thunder, and they have Chet Holmgren first. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the point guard, shooting guard Josh Giddey. They got Dort at the 3, defensive freak. And you got Chet there for their big man pick. They need a little bit more scoring. I think their defense is solid. I'm going to go Malachi Branham from Ohio State. Take a look at his points per game here. Almost 14 points a game. He shot up as well in the big board rankings. He can shoot from pretty much anywhere, off the dribble, standing shot. This guy can do it all from the shooting guard position. Going Malachi Branham at number 12. All right, let's see here. What do we got here? Hornets again. Or Hornets first, sorry. Let's see. So a lot of people want them to go a guard here, but I think, LaMelo Ball, James Bouknight, Terry Rozier, I think Scotty Lewis, I think they're set here on guard play. One thing, they score a lot of points. One thing they need is defense for sure. And to start off, let's go interior defense here with Mark Williams. Montrezl Harrell's a great center, but defensively, I think Mark Williams, Hornets they were in shootouts every game of the season. I think Mark Williams will add some interior defense for them. It'd be a solid pick. Number 14, the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they're set on guards here with their Darius Garland and Colin Sexton combo. Isaac Okoro is the young stallion they drafted, I believe, 2 years ago. And so the forward spot is where I'm kind of iffy for them. I do think they need a little bit more scoring talent as well. They can't just have the guards, pretty much do it all. Isaac Okoro isn't the best scorer by any means. I'm going with this guy, Ousmane Dieng. He's from New Zealand. The only guy we've seen from New Zealand or that Australia area is RJ Hampton and LaMelo Ball, essentially, from, the NBL down there. This guy's a 6'10", 205. He's a defensive beast. He's got a, huge wingspan. The guy's an all-around scorer. He's this new era of taller, longer guards. This guy plays the 3, but he'll give the Cavaliers a bunch of scoring opportunities. Yes, Ousmane Dieng. There we go, 14th pick. Through the middle already. What can I say? I go pretty quick. Anywho, number 15. Hornets are back on the clock again, and AJ Griffin is just sitting right there. I think AJ Griffin might drop just because of his size, but he was a lights out 3-point wise. Gordon Hayward is getting up there in age. He's kind of peaked. At the small forward spot, can't go wrong here with AJ Griffin. Gives the Hornets a lot more shooting ability. LaMelo Ball can dish it out. Guys will get it out to the 3-point shot. AJ Griffin here, number 15. Up next. Number 16, Atlanta Hawks. Okay, let's take a look at the Hawks here. Trae Young, Bogdanovich, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter. They seem like on paper they'd be set, but they missed the playoffs. They had kind of an off year. Let's give the Hawks here Kennedy Chandler. I think they just need more bench depth. They seem solid starting lineup wise, but bench depth. I look at their point guards. I'm not super set on. Just Trae Young. Sharif Cooper last year was picked, but he didn't do crazy well. I think they just could use a little more guard play, maybe at the 2 position as well. Sharif Cooper is promising. Trae Young, obviously, all-star, whatever you want to call him. But, at the 2 spot, they could use a little more scoring depth there. I'm going with Kennedy Chandler At number 16. Number 17 here, we got the Rockets again. They have 2 picks here in the first round. They might have 3, actually. But they went Paolo Banchero in my draft here at number 3. They need, they lost Christian Wood. Defensive-wise, they need everything they can get. The Rockets are one of those teams that need a lot, and they need a true center as well. They picked up the guy from Turkey last year, Alperen Sengun, and, he didn't do anything nuts. He's promising, but I think they could use another 7-foot stallion and Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler was a beast at Auburn. He was a great shot blocker. He could, he was great down low scoring wise, and center wise they lost Christian Wood. I think Walker Kessler would be a good pick for him here. Bulls on the clock. So the Bulls made the playoffs this year. They looked a lot better. DeMar DeRozan, kind of making a comeback. From not his Raptors days, but, better than what he did on the Spurs. He was in the MVP talks for a second. So, the injuries kind of riddled the Bulls playoffs, so they didn't have Lonzo Ball. Yeah, they didn't have Lonzo Ball. Patrick Williams was out for a little bit of it. The Bulls lost a decent chunk of their young players. And, position-wise, they don't need a lot. I think they could use a little more depth here at the forward spot. I'm going to E.J. Liddell here. This guy reminds me a lot of, just a better scoring P.J. Tucker. You can put him at the 5. This guy averaging 8 rebounds in college a game, almost 20 points a game. He was up there for Naismith Player of the Year. E.J. Liddell was a beast in college. I think the Bulls could use a little more experience, especially at that forward spot. They got Patrick Williams. I think they could use E.J. Liddell here off the bench. Here we go. We get the Timberwolves now at number 19. Jeremy Sochan is sitting right there. They were working out a few guards, but guard-wise, they're looking good. They got D'Angelo Russell, Pat Bev might come back. We'll see with Pat Bev. Anthony Edwards, but, kind of that forward spot, once again, I'm not seeing anything crazy. I really think they should go with Jeremy Sochan here. Scoring-wise, the Timberwolves, great scoring. Jeremy Sochan, he was an absolute defensive specimen at Baylor. He can score the ball too. 9 points a game isn't anything crazy, but defensively he is very versatile and could give the Timberwolves a little defensive help, and that's exactly what they need. Here we go. Spurs again. So I got the perfect pick here for the Spurs, and I think it'd work out really well. So, so they picked up Jalen Duran at number 10 here number 9 in my mock draft. Give him a better center than what they have right now. And if they're looking at guards, this guy here, Jaden Hardy, Jaden Hardy was projected to be a top 5 pick, before the season started. But, his G League numbers weren't anything crazy. But towards the end of the year, he got a lot better, shooting 40%, from the field and almost 35% from 3. He started off terrible, about 30% from the field, but he got better. He's getting used to the NBA shot. In the G League, they use the NBA 3. So Jaden Hardy here at number 20. I think the Spurs got a steal here. Anywho, Nuggets at number 21, and I have a great pick for them. Jokic and Jovic. Nikola Jovic, are you kidding me? So I'm going with Nikola Jovic here, but for a good reason, okay? The Nuggets seem to develop these kind of EuroLeague players into stars, hence Nikola Jokic. And, they could use a little more distributing here. I really think their small forward position, Michael Porter Jr. isn't, healthy all the time, and Aaron Gordon is off and on 24/7. This guy's 6'10". He seems to move. He seems to be like one of those guard 6'10" combos, like those taller guards that we're seeing. Nikola Jokic, how fun would that be? Come on, in the front court, that'd be awesome. Anyway, I really do think it's a good pick. I'm not just saying that because it's Jovic and Jokic, even though that's funny as hell. Anywho, let's look at the Grizzlies here. So they got Ja, Desmond Bane. That's their 1-2 combo at the 1-2, and then they got Dylan Brooks at the 3. I do think they could use a little more efficiency off the bench here at the guard spot. Power forward, center wise, I think they're good. They got Steven Adams, Jaren Jackson, Brandon Clark. Those are solid bigs, enough in rotation. But I do think they could use one more guard here. Another G League guy, Marjan Beauchamp. This guy lit up the G League, and I think his stock will continue to rise. I think this is a steal here for the Grizzlies. This guy absolutely lit up the G League. 6'7" frame, shooting guard. This guy can shoot off the dribble. He pretty much can shoot from anywhere. I've seen his highlights. He pretty much shoot from, anywhere. So, Marjon Beauchamp, they're at number 22. We got the Sixers at number 23. I think they could use just, let's take a look here. Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. It's getting to the point where, we look at team needs, and I'm not really worried about what they have. They could use a little extra, though. I'm going to go with a veteran here, Ochai Agbaji. This guy was one of those guys that had another jump, but he was a senior. He's 22 years old. He's listed at small forward, but I think he'll play more of maybe the 2 spot in the NBA just because he's kind of 6'6", 215. Ochai Agbaji, just a natural scorer. The Sixers defensively need a little help too, and Agbaji was an elite on-ball defender, especially in the national title game. And, close to 20 points a game. He's a little older, though, 22, but they're going to get a good player in Agbaji here at number 23. Milwaukee Bucks. So what I've noticed with the Bucks is they are stuck if they lose Chris Middleton in the playoffs, they're stuck without a lot of good shooters. You got Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen. Those guys aren't consistent enough, and I'm going to go with a guy who shot 50% from the field at the shooting guard spot. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, 6'6", 18 points a game, and look at 51 EFG percent, so he's efficient. He's an efficient shooter. He shot 45% overall from the field, and his three-point percentage was around 38%. So Jalen Williams here, Santa Clara, I'm going with him at this pick. They need another shooter in the corner. Spurs on the clock again, and let's take a look at my notes here. So I have them taking actually. So I have Jaden Hardy, Jalen Duran, and I'm going to use a little more defensive presence here with Trevor Keels. Trevor Keels was one of the bright spots for Duke this year. He wasn't ranked super high coming out of high school, but defensive-wise, Trevor Keels was a great on-ball defender. He's kind of built like a linebacker, I'm not going to lie. He's a great scorer, too. He can shoot pretty much from anywhere. He's a great finisher. Trevor Keels here, not a bad pick here. I think the Spurs have a great draft upcoming with 3 first-round picks. 26, again, the Rockets once again, and this one's going to be another steal. Tari Eason out of LSU, six man of the year in the SEC. He averaged 17 points a game off the bench. He's 20 years old. The guy is a defensive freak. He can finish. He's a great shooter. The guy's a good all-around player. 6'8", 216, and the Rockets could use just any scoring help they can get. Defensive-wise, too. Tari Eason can pretty much defend any position as well. So it's going to be another steal there. The Rockets have 3 picks in the first round as well. Hopefully they have, at least a solid draft. 27, Miami Heat. I'm not going to make a big splash pick here. Jake Rivaria, I'm just, looking at their power forward spot. They're not too comfortable down there. They like to move around a lot and use, 3 to 4 guards in the game at once. I'm going to give him a little power forward help here with a guy who averaged 15 points a game and is shot very efficiently. He's experienced too, 21 years old, Wake Forest. It just doesn't, you can't go wrong with this pick at 27. 28th, Golden State Warriors. There was talk that they might move out of this pick, but let's just say for video's sake that they don't. They're set pretty much everywhere. I was going to say maybe center in case Wiseman isn't fully, established and, coming off his injury. But let's just say he does. They're pretty much set everywhere. They won the title. Okay, there's no need for anything. I'm going to have him pick here a project player, Patrick Baldwin Jr., 6'10", was said to be the next KD coming out of high school. He had offers from Duke, stayed home in Milwaukee. He's 19 years old. I think he's a good project player. The guy's ceiling is insanely high, and hopefully they can make another superstar out of this guy. But I do think they have room here to pick a project player with their depth, with the contracts coming up. They can pick a project player. They can risk it. Here we go. 29. I got the Grizzlies again. And let's see, who do I have? Let's go over here. David Roddy. I was gonna go with this guy here. Give him, give him more depth here at that 3 spot. You have Dylan Brooks, kind of a smaller number 3 guy playing at that spot. David Roddy is 6'5". He averaged close to 20 points a game at Colorado State. 57 efficient field goal percentage. The guy's 252. The guy's round. He reminds me of PJ Tucker a lot, but 19 points per game. This guy looks efficient. They need more help at that 3 spot. Seems like a good pick to me. Let's see. 30th pick, Denver Nuggets, and this is the last pick. I'll always zoom through this. Point guard, they got Bones Highland last year, Jamal Murray at that 2 spot though. It's not looking real deep. I'm gonna go with this guy here, Dalen. Let's switch it up. Let's go Christian Braun here. I'm going with Christian Braun here. 14 points a game. He was part of that Kansas national title run. He was a hustler. Let's just say that. He shot well from 3. 6'6", 218. He's got an NBA frame. They need a little more help at that shooting guard spot. Denver Nuggets could use someone like Christian Braun. Defensively, he was a beast. He was probably the second major factor in that national title run besides Agbaji for Kansas. So Christian Braun, number 30. And there it is, the NBA mock draft. Mine's a little different than what I've seen other people do. I like to switch it up just because, if I pull something out of my hat and it's right, I'll look like a genius. So, yeah, this is my mock draft. Hopefully I get every pick right. Odds are in my favor, to be honest, just considering how smart I am. But anyway, yeah, that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the podcast for today if you haven't. I'm dropping 2 videos in the same day. So, yeah, this is the mock draft. Take a look one more time if you'd like. Scrolling up and down here. Tell me what you think in the comments. Hope to do one of these extra videos again, with the face cam and the browser. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.